Hey everybody, before we get to the previews and the reviews, I want to let you all know about these awesome comedians who've all got YouTube channels, and they're part of this thing called Jash. Check out the video. Wow, those are some of the biggest names in comedy. My particular favorite out of all those is Michael Cera. He was born and raised in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, right where Stadium Comics is located. Well, not right where Stadium Comics is located, but you get the picture. We've even gone so far as to celebrate Michael Cera Days here at our comic shop. Check it out, here's a picture of Ricky, Nick, and Buns from Flavorful Reviews all wearing Michael Cera masks. Very convincing. We're big fans of all the comedians there, so check out their channels and subscribe. You can also subscribe to the Jash Network right now by clicking the link right over here. There's a new video up by Reggie Watts, so check that out and give him a thumbs up for me.
Hey everybody, welcome to Previews Reviews, coming to you from Stadium Comics, located in Shoppers World Mall in beautiful Brampton, Ontario. Here are your hosts, Kevin Hickey and Ricky Lima.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Previews Reviews, which takes a look at comic books coming out into stores starting in June 2013. I'm Kevin Hickey.
And I am Ricky Lima.
And Ricky, can you please tell everybody out there where this lovely show is coming to them from?
This is being filmed in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. The crown jewel of the Queen Elizabeth's crown. The ring to the lantern. The Luther to Luther Strode. And the blood in my veins.
Are you just looking around and you saw the Luther Strode book over there?
Pretty much. This is hard to do every week. Every month.
You could have said the bandages to Luther Strode's face.
I could do a lot of things, Kevin.
But you don't, and that's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
June is a big month, Ricky, for comics. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff coming out. So much stuff that I had real difficulty deciding what to include on this list. There was a lot of really good books that were left off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, in the month of June, DC Comics is bringing it. They're bringing it. No new Marvel #1s during the month of June. Similar kind of to the month of May. They're very much embroiled in the whole Age of Ultron thing, and I don't think you're going to see any new titles until that's all sorted out.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far, so I'm okay with that.
Exactly. So first up, Ricky, is a couple of books featuring perhaps the world's most beloved superhero. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
All right. We've got Superman Unchained #1 and Batman Superman issue 1. When 13 satellites fall from the sky in one day, the logical suspect is Lex Luthor, even though he's still locked up in prison. But a stranger question remains. If Superman didn't stop the last satellite from falling, who did? There's a mystery hidden somewhere, even Superman can't see it. Can the Man of Steel drag a decades-old secret into the light? Don't miss the debut of this red-hot new series from two of comics' brightest superstars, Scott Snyder and Jim Lee. Then, for Batman Superman #1, we have an epic new tale begins with the debut of this new ongoing series. Don't miss the first fateful meeting of Batman and Superman in the New 52.
Well, man.
It's a lot of Batman, a lot of Superman content.
Although, I mean, didn't they meet in Justice League?
Right. They did, didn't they?
Come on, unless this takes place before that.
But don't they say in Justice League that it's their first meeting and stuff?
Strange.
I'll have to go back and read Justice League #1 to clarify the wording there, but you could be right.
But, I mean, regardless, Jay Lee doing art, Jim Lee, can't compare, I'm sorry.
Jim Lee can't compare to Jay Lee?
No.
Jay Lee has a definite style about him, but
Lee.
Jim Lee is friggin' amazing.
No. Like, he's good, I'll give you that, but Jay Lee, whoosh.
I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. But first, let's talk about Superman Unchained #1. So, Jim Lee and Scott Snyder, friggin', like, how can you get more of an all-star team right now at DC than that?
That's true.
The biggest writing name at DC right now, I think he's even surpassed Jeff Johns at this point in terms of, like, critical acclaim, I guess, or just overall fan hype.
Badassery.
Yeah. And Jim Lee, of course, well, you know, that speaks for itself.
He, like, owns DC.
He does. He's pretty much. But, like, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for this book. I'm hoping and praying that it is the book that saves the Superman franchise, because it's hurting.
is hurting a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't read a Superman story since Red Sun, probably.
But you're going to read this story, right?
I'm going to try to.
And that's not true. You read some Action Comics and stuff for flavorful reviews.
But personally, I haven't been interested in Superman in a long time. And if one person can do it, I think Scott Snyder can.
Right.
But we'll see, man.
Well, reading some of the interviews that Scott Snyder and Jim Lee gave about doing this book, it seems like they really had a collaborative process going on during the creation of it. So, you know, Scott Snyder was throwing out ideas, Jim Lee had some ideas and input as well, and they kind of mashed them both together to make this final product. But they're going to need it to be good, because I think the movie's going to be really good from what I've seen so far and what I'm hoping for. And they're going to need a really good book for people who just saw the Superman movie to come into stores and be able to pick up a #1 of and you know, just start fresh and reading from there.
Does the movie come out in June?
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure the movie comes out in June as well.
Nice.
So now, variants with this book. There's a lot of variants available. There's first of all, you have the combo pack cover, then you have 1 in 25s, like a few different 1 in 25s, a few different 1 in 50s, a few different 1 in 75s, a 1 in 100, and then a 1 in 300 sketch cover.
Oh, man.
And a lot of the variants are going to pay tribute to the past eras of Superman. So you have like Superman in the 30s, Superman in the Golden Age, Superman in the Silver Age.
Are they all going to be him like breaking chains?
It could be. I mean, that's how the comic was named. It wasn't because of Django. Well, might have had a little bit to do with the success of Django. But, you know, that's an iconic image of Superman breaking away from his chains. Yeah. And I think they're trying to recapture some of that former glory in this series.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do, man, because, well, I'm very cautious.
Yeah, well, I'm cautiously optimistic, though, don't you think?
Yeah, I think if anyone can do it, they can.
Right.
But
fingers crossed. Now, on a personal store note for this series, we are going to be offering a bunch of collector packs for it, both in store and online. So stay tuned for information on that coming very soon. If not already, if the information is already out there, you'll see the link here on the screen. I don't know. We tape it in advance. We'll see what happens. And now, Ricky, let's talk about Batman Superman #1. So you've already expressed your appreciation for Jay Lee. I agree. He's an awesome artist.
The best.
Yeah, I mean, I love his cover work.
His interiors are even better.
Yeah, yeah, he's really good. And I was a big fan of the Superman Batman series that was around, you know, before the relaunch. And you know, there were a lot of good issues in that run of comics. I think this book's going to sell really well for them too. There's going to be a blank cover available on the release date, so there'll be a Batman Superman blank cover.
What excites me the most is that Jay Lee's art doesn't lean itself really well to like very action oriented.
No, it's
explosion.
not a superhero style art style.
So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. Awesome.
Up next, we have Batman #21, Zero Year. Witness the New 52 origin of the Dark Knight in Batman Zero Year. Twists and turns are around every corner as Bruce Wayne takes the final steps towards his destiny. And in the backup story, learn more about how different Gotham City was at this dangerous point in time. Man, that sounds cool.
It does sound cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they kind of rehash the origin of Batman under the whole guise of the New 52 universe.
Yeah, man.
Now, it's not to say anything negative about the Batman Year One story, because that's one of my all-time favorite Batman stories ever.
Yeah, but it's no longer relevant to like what's going on. So.
Well, I think it's still kind of relevant to the whole, you know, lore of Batman. You know, the character of Batman in there is still relatable to the character of Batman now. But it is good to refresh it every once in a while. And
like, I mean, what Scott Snyder did with Mr. Freeze. Whew,
yes, exactly.
So
great
good.
Example of you know, a rehashed origin story that really works. Now, Snyder has said in an interview with Comic Book Resources that he has new aspects to add to the character's origins, and he's not planning to simply retell Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli's original story. So that's encouraging. He's got some new stuff to bring to the table. his Batman stuff hasn't let me down yet, except for maybe a little bit the ending of The Death of the Family.
That was a little lame.
Batman 17, I was expecting something more to come out of that.
Honestly, I think when you look at it in hindsight, his hands were tied on what he could do.
Right.
Because I think Grant Morrison kind of overrid what he...
I think you're absolutely right. So. I think Grant Morrison had already planned that other big death that happened directly after Death of the Family, so it's not like they could have killed somebody off and then kill somebody off again.
Which sucks because, I mean, apparently that's the second time Grant Morrison has screwed up a book. I mean,
what was the first time?
Superman with George Perez, where he's like, I couldn't do anything because I didn't know what was going on.
That's true. Well, that's just going by, George Perez's words. We don't really know what happened there, but we can speculate. Scott Snyder also says about his version of the origin, this 0-year thing, is that just give the first 4 pages a try if you're at all on the fence about whether they should be redoing Batman's origin. And he's saying that we'll be convinced by the first 4 pages.
Oh, this guy's a little high on himself. Whoa, 4 pages, eh?
Yeah.
He's like, it's so mind-blowing. Frank who? David what?
Now, interesting to note about Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder as a team, because they've been really just hitting home runs with Batman since the relaunch. They're right now in negotiations to extend their contracts on Batman all the way up to issue like 48 or 49.
Nice.
So
they can do some crazy stuff.
I think the franchise is in good hands for a little while. That's what this is looking at.
That's good. I always hate when they switch artists and writers and you're just like, this sucks.
Well, it's okay if they do it for one issue. Like, there was one issue where Becky Cloonan filled in for Greg Capullo.
That's true.
And, every once in a while an artist needs a break.
That's true. Or like Adventure Time, when they got 3D artists to do a whole episode. That was amazing. My favorite Adventure
Was it in 3D?
Yeah, it was so good.
Did you have to have, like, special glasses for it?
No, it was, like, computer animated.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God, it was so good.
Is that, like, the best Adventure Time episode
Honestly, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, lots of big titles coming out from DC in June. I didn't even mention the new Pandora book, where we finally see the Pandora character after all this time. And Larfleeze gets his own issue number 1 in June. Larfleeze, dude! Only the most awesome of the new Guardians.
What? Who is that?
You don't know who Larfleeze is, really?
Who is Larfleeze?
The Orange Lantern?
The ball thing?
What? No. Okay, one of his constructs is the ball thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool then.
Yeah,
right.
He's the lantern whose power is greed. He operates on the power of greed. You never read Green Lantern?
No.
Dude. Go back. Okay, go back. Start with Green Lantern Rebirth.
Okay. Oh,
then read. Tales of the Sinestro Corps and the Sinestro Corps War.
Okay.
Then read Blackest Night, Agent Orange, and all the stuff leading up to Blackest Night. And then read Blackest Night. Then read Brightest Day. Then you're good to go.
I'm a progressive dude. I just go forward, man. I don't know this backwards stuff.
It's good stuff, man. Some of the best comics ever written is in that run of Green Lantern.
No Infinity Gauntlet.
Next up from Vertigo is a return to their roots of sorts. We've got 100 Bullets, Brother Lono, issue number 1. Brother Lono is a brand new 8-issue miniseries set in the world of 100 Bullets. The Eisner Award-winning team behind 100 Bullets, writer Brian Azzarello, artist Eduardo Risso, colorist Trish Mulvihill, letterer Clem Robbins, and cover artist Dave Johnson reunite to tell the story of the baddest Minutemen of all. When last we saw Lono in 100 Bullets, Dizzy Cordova had shot him through the chest, but Lono was always too tough to die. Now, after the final events of 100 Bullets, Lono finds himself in Mexico, working on the side of the Angels. But there's always more to a 100 Bullets story, so pick up this extra size first issue to see what's really going on with Brother Lono, the cold-blooded killer you hate to love.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy. You know, I've never read 100 Bullets.
Oh, man. What are you doing?
Sorry.
You've never read Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run, and you've never read 100 Bullets?
I'm sorry.
Ricky, you've got some homework, my friend. 100 Bullets is an awesome crime/revenge/crime again story. It's about more than this, but, the comic starts off with a guy who goes around, his name's Agent Graves, with a briefcase with 100 untraceable bullets and untraceable gun, and gives it to people along with evidence of someone close to them who has really wronged them in their lives. And they usually don't even know that they've been wronged by this person, but they've been wronged by them to a point that it's really screwed up their life. And it's evidence and a gun and basically license to do what you want with that person. Really cool story. The last issue of 100 Bullets was published in 2009. So it's taken a few years off. Now, is this the way to bring back a storied franchise with the whole original creative team together? Or do you prefer the Watchmen model where they kind of just farm out the work to various creative teams without the express consent of the wizard and warlock in charge of who created the franchise?
I definitely think that the way they're doing it here with the entire creative team, like even the letterist is back. That's crazy, man.
That's amazing.
That's like
I love that.
Every single person. I think that's the way to go. But at the same time, like, I mean, you would want to kind of freshen it up, but I don't know how fresh, like, something like this could be. I mean, they might still kind of be stuck in...
Well, it's only 2009.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot's changed since then, though, eh?
Yeah. But definitely, like, that's the way to do it if you're going to do a relaunch. Am I going to pick it up? Probably not. It's just not
No, you got to go back and read all the other issues first.
But it's also just not my kind of genre, like... Crime stuff, it's alright, but I'm like, if I want crime...
It's more than that, though.
I just go outside, you know what I mean? Not that Brampton's dangerous.
No, Brampton is safe. Safe city. Stadium Comics, very safe.
Very.
You love Azraella.
Yeah, but like I like his different stuff. Like Spaceman was cool.
Well, this is different stuff.
But it's like it's still grounded in reality. I don't know, man. I don't like stuff, like real stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I don't watch like Breaking Bad, and I don't know. It's like I'm sure I'd like it if I were to give it a chance.
Yes, you would.
There's that barrier of it's just
you need like unicorns,
too real, yeah. So
fairies and
I just like creative and interesting stuff.
You need dragons.
No, I just need different stuff. If there's like
this is so creative. It's one of the best series ever. People viewing this, if you've read 100 Bullets and you really like it, set Ricky straight. He's not going to listen. He doesn't listen to me.
I want to read it. I'll read it. Maybe I'll get it here in the store.
Still haven't even read Invincible.
I know, but because I don't like superheroes either.
All right, Ricky. Next book.
We have XFiles Season 10. For years, they investigated the paranormal, pursued the monster of the week, and sought the truth behind extraterrestrial activity, along with the grand conspiracy surrounding it rooted deep within their own government. But when Agent Mulder and Scully reunite for a new ongoing series that ushers the new X-Files into a new era of technological paranoia, multinational concerns, and other worldly threats, it would take more than a desire to believe to make it out alive. The X-Files Season 10 also sees creator Chris Carter return to the fold as executive producer.
Okay, so X-Men is the latest title to join the club of, hey, let's continue our series on in comic form long after it's been canceled. Yeah. You've never watched X-Files. That's okay, Ricky, because my next question to you was going to be, were you even born when the X-Files came on?
I was, but I was too young, I guess, to watch it. So
I think you would really like X-Files. You've been talking about this series, Black Mirror, that you've been watching on BBC. That's got a bit of what kind of aspect to that?
It's got like a technological paranoia in it.
It's paranoia and stuff, right? And conspiracies. Well, this has like conspiracies and paranoia and aliens and
I'm sure
monsters.
I just
paranormal.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Great show, X-Files.
Sometimes I feel like I don't watch or read enough. What is this?
Yeah, like what are you doing?
I don't know, man. But yeah,
doing with your life, Ricky?
Nothing, apparently. But yeah, X-Files, I'm excited. So, does it being an executive producer of a comic really like matter?
No, I don't think it does. I think basically, it's basically a nice way of saying, hey, he's letting us do this.
Yeah. Right, because like Joss Whedon is like the executive producer of the Buffy comics like forever.
But Joss Whedon has also contributed to the Buffy comics. He's also written
before
a good chunk of them, even after like in season 8 and season 9, he's contributed stuff. I think it means a couple of things. I think number one, they're being allowed to do it. Number two, I think if they wanted to do anything really crazy with any of the characters or kill any of them off or anything like that, they would probably need his blessing and approval first.
That's cool. Is the Smoking Man going to be in this?
I hope so. People that are big fans of the X-Files have been wanting something good from the X-Files franchise since the series ended. And a lot of people were kind of let down by the movies that came out afterwards. Yeah. So this is a chance to...
There you go. And I mean, now Gillian Anderson has something to do at conventions when you see her. She could sign these books.
That's true. That's true. I'm sure she's signing stuff anyway. IDW's Chief Creative Officer Chris Ryall says about the series, "What do the X-Files look like in this increasingly paranoid and untrusting post-WikiLeaks era?" Yeah. So what do you do when you take all that paranoia from the early to mid-90s and you know, and transport it all into our super paranoid world today?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, like, because like with WikiLeaks, now the things that were classified, now you can have storylines where they're unclassified.
Exactly, right? There's so much potential here.
I'm excited.
So it's going to be really good, I think.
Even though I don't know probably what's going on.
You know what? I don't think it'll matter. Yeah. I think you can probably... They'll design it in a way that you can pick it up and kind of be able to follow along. Nice. If they're smart, anyway. Now, this will feature a special variant cover. It's called the I Want to Believe cover. And basically it's a replica of the poster that Mulder has hanging up in his office. It's a UFO. It says I Want to Believe. And that's going to be the cover of the comic. Nice. The variant cover. So I know X-Files fans will really appreciate that. Now, switching over to Image Comics, we've got Lazarus, issue number 1. In a dystopian near future, government is a quaint concept. Resources are coveted, and possession is 100% of the law. A handful of families rule, jealously guarding what they have and exploiting the waste who struggle to survive in their domains. Forever Carlyle defends her family's holdings through deception and force. As their protector, they're Lazarus. Shot dead defending the family home, Forever's day goes downhill from there.
Whoa, man. Okay. That's crazy.
Forever. That's a weird name.
I know, that's a little weird. And what, it starts off with for this Forever character being killed?
I'm guessing that's what the whole Lazarus aspect is about. That's pretty cool. Lazarus, famously resurrected by Jesus. This woman probably will not be resurrected by Jesus, but who knows? Dystopian comics.
It's
a popular theme in comics, eh?
Yeah. I think it's piggybacking off of zombies. It's kind of like they go hand in hand, and people are like, "Oh, people are sick of zombies, but they still want to do that kind of world." So yeah, dystopian it is.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic, dystopian. You know, that seems to be the flavor of the day. Greg Rucka is writing this book.
Nice.
He's a pretty awesome writer. Loved his work on Gotham Central with the Brew. Him and the Brew teamed up on that.
Eddie Brubbs.
But Greg Rucka has always been known as a really strong writer when it comes to female characters. So he's got a strong female lead here, it looks like. So that should be entertaining. Greg Rucka describes this book as The Godfather meets Children of Men.
Whoa, man.
Ricky has a little confession for you right now. He's never watched The Godfather, and he's never watched Children of Men.
That's true.
Is that true? You never watched The Godfather? Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Why did we hire you?
Oh, because of my boyish good looks, that's why.
You haven't read any good books. You haven't watched any really good movies.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Anyways, those are two awesome movies, and if it's anything like either of those, we're in for a good time, I think. What do you think, Ricky? The next big book from Image Comics? Certainly the big book from Image in the month of June.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's got potential, you know?
So speculators should start ordering like 50 copies of it right now to flip on eBay?
Yeah, dude.
All right, you heard it from Ricky. Do it up. Call us now with your orders.
But up next, we got Uncanny #1, not to be confused with the X-Men. 9 billion skill sets, one last chance. Weaver is unique, or so he thinks. Born with an uncanny ability, he can steal other people's skills, their memories, abilities, and expertise for a limited time. A man with a power like that could change the world, but as a professional gambler, con man, and thief for hire, Weaver prefers to look out for #1. That is, until he finds himself drawn into a dangerous game of international intrigue where the rules keep changing. The players are hidden, and the first thing he stands to lose is his life. And maybe, just maybe, he isn't so unique after all. Whoa, it's like Taskmaster in the real world.
Dystopian world.
Is it a dystopian?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. So what do you think of this comic using the word uncanny as their title?
It just, you think of X-Men, so it's like, why would they even like try to do that? It's like calling it a comic like spectacular, or like amazing.
Or amazing.
And you're like, what are you doing? I don't know. But it sounds good, so we'll see.
It does sound good, and the art looks amazing, particularly the cover art, because there's covers by Jock and Sean Phillips.
Nice.
And it's written by Andy Diggle, who famously walked off Action Comics after one issue recently.
He walked off? He wasn't like, let go?
No, he walked off. There was something that they wanted him to do in the story that he didn't agree with, and he was just like, yeah, see ya.
What?
So, but an awesome writer. He does awesome things. Andy Diggle says about this book that Uncanny is an edgy, fast-paced crime thriller with just a hint of the paranormal. So we know that you're not going to read it because, number one, it deals with crime, which you've already said you don't like that genre, and number two, paranormal, and you don't like things like the XFiles. So
it's not that I don't like them.
Just cross Ricky off the list right now.
No, it's not that I don't like them. It just takes time for me to get into them. You know what I mean? Like, I read like Double Indemnity. That was a great book. It was like the quintessential crime book, and it was awesome. So I mean, that's the thing.
Okay.
It just, there's a barrier for me to get into it. I'm like, it's hard for me to get into.
What is the one thing on a, in a comic book or on a cover or something that you see when you're like, and that one element, and you're like, damn, I have to read this?
Okay, first it'd be like art, if the art is like crazy.
Yeah.
And then like creativity.
Okay, but how do you know that just by looking at a book? Or
okay, well, my definition of creativity is something different. So when I look at it, it looks different. You know what I mean?
Like, okay, so you don't like the crime genre. You don't like the superhero genre.
Because they look too normal. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
You need something offbeat.
Yeah, I guess.
You're looking for the weird and wild, not necessarily the...
Exactly.
All right, good to know, Ricky. A couple honorable mentions for this episode. First is Bubblegun, issue number 1 from Aspen Comics, part of their 10 for 10 initiative. And I'm happy to say the next announced Stadium exclusive cover.
Kill Supreme.
Yeah, and it's going to feature the artwork of Adam Gorham. He's doing a 100% completely custom cover for us, and it is going to be amazing because everything Adam does is awesome.
Can I do a cover?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you cannot. We've also got a series of Valiant 8-bit covers. Have you seen these?
No, but that sounds amazing.
8-bit covers as variants for all of their books that month.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Incredibly crazy. Awesome looking.
See? There we go. That's something. I picked that up.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't even matter to you what the story is inside.
Who cares?
So... and then another awesome book, by the looks of it, from Boom Studios.
Yes.
Six Gun Gorilla.
There you go. A gorilla? A gorilla with a gun? Artwork's cool? There you go. Sold. Buying that book.
Artwork does look cool. Covers by Ramon Perez, who's local to Toronto. And I believe it's a mini-series. So it looks cool.
And it's a mini-series. Definitely going to pick this up.
No commitment, right?
Exactly. And there's an end. That's what I want. I want stories to have an arc and end.
Sometimes you want them to end, but sometimes you want them to go on forever.
No, I don't want things to go on forever. They need to end.
Not everything has to end.
Yes.
Well, thank you everybody for watching this episode. Please remember to go into your local comic shop and take a look through this magazine and let your shop know what kind of stuff you want out of it. So, take care. We'll see you all next time when we look at toys, collectibles, and other awesome things coming to stores starting in June 2013.